we are still picking the bones from Congress. Before we even get into that, I don't know if you have an opinion on. Raymond was talking about Madam Gifty Manson, who's on the GFA's ExCo, who has some matters to deal with concerning the state. She was a subject of interest of a press conference held in June by the Attorney General and all of that. Some people, and Raymond was making the point that he thinks because of all of this, for reputational purposes, he thinks the GFA should put her aside or ask her to step aside concerning her duties while all these things are cleared, and then if there's the green light for her to come back, she comes back to do her work. I don't know if you have an opinion on this. What do you make of this call made by some people? Raymond has made it. Some people seem to believe it's the right thing to do. Looking at reputation, governance, all of that, ethics, all of that. I don't know what you make of it. If you have a response, though.
It's unfortunate I didn't listen to the build-up to it. I mean, and what went into her stance or his stance or his conclusion.
Okay.
But what I know is that the laws are very clear. A person is innocent until proven guilty. Yes, her name may have been mentioned, but you saw her at Congress.
Yes.
Didn't you? It means that no court have found her guilty. You understand? So what you've I heard Raymond trying to compare what is happening now to maybe 98 or something.
Yeah,
I don't know the details of that. I haven't read. If I knew you're going to ask me about this, I would have researched and
it just came up. I mean, just
read about it. But what I want Raymond to know is that the FA has evolved since 98. The FA has evolved since 98. Gifty is not on the Executive Council by appointment of government. Then government could take a decision that way, or the minister could take a decision that way. And I would be interested to read those portions he is referring to as the spokes at which the minister has the power to withdraw somebody from the Executive Council, having the person gone through the proper elections of the Ghana Football Association. I think that things have changed. The statutes of the federation has evolved since 1998 that Raymond is referring to. So I think that we should give our sister the benefit of that while she goes through the process. You understand? Yeah. Because now, if I don't know the Sports Act, the provisions he is referring to, but if you withdraw her and then she's proven innocent, what do you do? Then you go back to reinstate her or what? She's there not by appointment. She went through elections.
Yes, she was voted onto the council.
So what about many government officials who facing allegations? Somebody has been elected into parliament. Must the person be withdrawn from parliament, and then before the person goes through the court, and if it's proven innocent, then he goes back to parliament or something? People have been mentioning a lot of press conferences. They go about their duties as they continue to prove their innocence, facing the law. Some are in parliament, some are in top positions, but they go about their businesses. Why is Gifty the only subject matter to Raymond? Has Raymond forgotten about the other officials that have been mentioned who are going about their duties?
We are talking about,
even including our former sports minister.
True. I mean, he is in parliament.
He is in parliament.
Yes, and all of that. But we are looking at
his withdrawal from parliament.
We are looking at it. I think
it's very unfair. If you pick on her,
no, we are not picking on her.
Yeah, but it made a subject, and then put out to the court of public opinion. People phone in and offer the opinion. You understand? They might not necessarily be or comprehend the provisions in the statutes or the law. You understand? So if you do that, then you're subjecting her to the court of public opinion, which I think it's very unfair.
All right. Anyway.
No, you see, Nathan, you see, when Mr. Achi goes this way, I will be very shocked.
No, me, I'm only,
you see, for somebody who
saying this based on what I just said.
For somebody who has tried to get into parliament, you should know that the laws apply to parliamentarians differently when they have matters before court.
What are you talking about?
There's
only one law for all Ghanaians.
They enjoy a certain immunity, and you know that.
What?
Immunity whilst they are active?
When they are in active office and such allegations are brought against them.
So you are
there's a certain immunity.
No. If you
that parliamentarians enjoy.
No, so if you base your submission based on one person,
so
I just said that a lot of people have been.
The FA gives to a certain immunity that me I don't know.
Please.
That is not enshrined in our Constitution.
I just told you that there are a lot of people who have been mentioned.
Yes.
And the moment you decide to go that way, then the system will be chaotic. That anybody that is mentioned based on mere allegations, then the person must lose his or her job. I don't think the law works that way.
A lot of people have been mentioned. But Madam Gifty Owari concerns football matters. And concerns
the organization.
No, I am speaking to a football-specific matter.
Oh, no, I disagree with
that. She's a member of the ExCo.
And so?
You work with her.
She's no longer a human being.
Oh, come on. You see, because when you move the argument this way,
but what you are saying,
when you move the argument this way, no.
See, why no?
No. You see, you should be concerned as an ExCo member.
But I'm concerned about all Ghanaians. See, why must I be concerned about only one person?
Fred, I get your point.
Yeah.
But this has come up because we are looking at. I mean, look, this is SportyFM. Our concern is sports. Not that other things don't matter, but this is our core job. So we are saying that looking at this said person and her relationship with the GFA or what she's doing, we are just asking questions. I asked your opinion. You stated your opinion, which is fair. And I think you have the right to say that, okay, you don't agree with this stance. You hold a different opinion. That's equally fair.
Yeah.
But we are not talking about the wider generality of people who have been mentioned. We are just looking at this person in perspective. I think you stated your point.
I think you need
to
make comparisons in situations. Yeah. If this morning you making that call because Mr. X at this institution, is being dealt with in such a manner,
yes,
then you can compare Gifty's situation.
Yes.
But if Gifty is mentioned in a group, or other people are mentioned in a group, or everybody is doing their job, why then do you single it out? That's the point I'm making. So if this morning you have, like you stated, the examples of those who were mentioned in the same category,
yes,
that because those people were mentioned, now they've withdrawn them, then probably I could. I don't have facts of the matter.
Okay,
but
let's proceed.
That is it. But one thing I wanted to establish is that.
Yeah. Nathan, to end it, you see, those allegations are not coming from me or you. They are coming from the Attorney General.
Yeah.
Okay? The lawyer of the state. He made those allegations. I didn't make them. And I'm just saying that, look, if you want to compare allegations made against parliamentarians, criminal or civil, and say nobody has called for them. No, I'm saying nobody has called for them. Nobody has called for them to leave their jobs and all. That cannot be the case. Because we all know, under the law, that parliamentarians enjoy a certain immunity from legal proceedings, whether criminal or civil. We know that for a fact. So that doesn't come in at all. We are dealing with an individual here who is one of our stakeholders in the space in which we operate. Sports matters.
Yes.
Football-related matters. She has been elevated to the high level of second vice president of the FA. And again, an ExCo member. Nobody is saying the allegations made against her are true. She would have a day in court. She's innocent until proven guilty, of course.
So why don't we then allow the law to work?
Until then, the FA should protect their reputation, their own reputation, by making sure the ExCo member steps aside, deals with the matters. If she's cleared, she comes back to continue her role. If she fails to clear her name, just imagine, let's assume without admitting, she's not able to clear, and we get into all of that. Do you know the narrative? You get it. I can imagine. Both would have effects on the FA, whichever way it goes.
Fred, so really, that's and I'm saying that was the basis of Raymond's point. Yeah. Longest, so that's the summary.
And I was just saying that. So if we begin from that angle, then the system, like I said, will be a bit chaotic, because anytime allegation is made about somebody, then the person must lose her job. And I don't think that's the
you don't think that's the way
the point of the law? Yes, for law, once it is allegations are made, that's why there's a process to go through.
Okay.
And if she goes through that process and she's found guilty, the consequences are very clear. If she's innocent, the consequences are very clear. I think we should allow the law to work.
Fair
we are preempting the law.
Okay.
If you go this way.
But Nathan, I'm not preempting.
Well, maybe I have to go because I don't know you brought me to.
No. This was just an aside because
I'm
he
not a
asked
lawyer.
this. No problem. That
And
is okay. That's fair.
It's a bit unfair to pick on the lady. Yes, a lot of allegations have been made against her. She's going through the process. Why don't you allow her to go through the process?
Fair point. So we'll allow that to happen. Anyway, 2 minutes after 8. Actually, let's go back to 2 days ago. Let's go back to Congress. Your thoughts on how everything played out, the event itself from start to finish. Your own personal impressions of the Congress. Was it a success for you? How did it go for you? Were the biggest issues addressed? Your thoughts on what happened at Pram Pram?
Okay. We're trying to improve the Congress experience. So this year's Congress was an improvement over last year's.
Okay, how so?
Because of the general organization. Last year we added something which this year didn't get the space because last year I think we did a two-day Congress.
Okay.
Because the congressmen were at Pram Pram a day before. We organized some football games and other stuff. So, I mean, there was that excitement. But this year, I think that we decided to, uplift the Congress itself. Hitherto, we're running Congress, you walk in and there's a typical classroom sitting. With congressmen who are there to take decisions that governs the association.
Yeah.
Sometimes with their documents on their laps, some on the floor. You understand? We thought that it didn't look too good. So this year we did a proper conference setup. So, and I think the setup alone, the environment and the serene, I think added something small to Congress.
Okay.
Beyond that, the issues were dealt with smoothly throughout. Those who put a lot of matters to vote, people who had the free will to express their opinion, whether they agree or disagree with the issues up for decisions, and decisions were made. And then I think that even though the activity report and the president's speech, I mean, took a lot of time, but all in all, I think that Congress was smooth.
You mentioned a bit about debates. I was following. Can you give context to? I noticed there was a bit of an exchange between, was it Mr. Jamra, involving Mr. Jamra and the GFA president. What exactly happened? Because when I followed the stream, Mr. Jamra, I think, wanted to make a point, and I don't think he got the chance to make the point, and the president was trying to explain why. Can you explain that sequence to all of us so we understand?
Okay, so first one was about the activity report. I think after the activity report ended, and because we did it in video, yes, in audio visual. So then he said that he thought the activity report should be in text.
Okay. And which is in a document form.
The General Secretary reminded me that it's in text, and that was forwarded to congressmen ahead of time.
Okay.
And was part of the convocation document, so it's there.
Okay.
So it means it was out of place.
So did other members have the said document?
Everybody.
Okay.
It's a requirement that you need to send the convocation document to members 7 clear days before Congress, minimum 7 days before Congress. So everyone had it. Maybe he hadn't read it or he didn't read it, and so he raised it, and it was pointed that it's there with him. It's in there. It's in the document.
Okay.
The second one, I think, was got to do with the vote on the amendment.
Yes.
Everything was read, the processes, we went through the processes. The General Secretary took time to even read the provisions in the statute.
Yes.
Article 37.1, 37.2, 37.3, 37, read everything, and then read out the votes. And then the vote was taken. People voted for, he as a person voted against, others abstained. The votes were counted. Then after he rose to, make an argument about the vote started being taken and it was passed. Okay. In fact, we were moving on to the next agenda. So that agenda had been cleared. So the president reminded me that vote is already been taken and you voted already, and they counted the vote, And so it is done, and then we are moving on to the next agenda. And that was it.
But was there the opportunity for comments or debates or deliberations before the said votes? Because I'm sure once he raised his hand, he may have had a point. But just run us through the sequence. Why was it that he was trying to make a point after the votes, but not before? Was there an opportunity?
Understand. He's a lawyer. I don't understand him because, a matter was put to vote, and it was voted on, counted, finished. We moved to the next agenda, and he wanted to go back to it. I do not understand why he wanted to make that. But the processes of Congress is there. And always what we normally do not do as congressmen is that when these documents are sent to us, we need to read them. And if you have opinions or something, the process is there. You notify the General Secretary or the Secretariat that you have an issue on this, and so you want to make a submission on it at the floor of Congress. When it gets to that, it will not be even you to remind it. They will call you because you've noted already. And so they will call you to make your submission on
That's how it works.
That's the process.
You notify the General Secretary that on the day of Congress, I want to speak on A, B, or C, or I have a few issues.
That's how the documents are sent to you ahead of time for you to digest them. And if you have any issue, if something you don't understand or you want to call for further and better particulars, you write, and then it is noted. And so when the time comes, you'll not be the one even to put up your hand. Once they get to the subject matter, you'll be invited to make your submission on the floor of Congress, and then you can make it.
Okay, I see. Quite interesting. And you're saying that on the part of this said gentleman, he didn't notify Congress beforehand?
No, there was nothing.
Okay, so that was how come he could not get the chance to voice whatever opinions
but in any case, he spoke. And all those matters he spoke on were dealt with. The first one was that he raised a concern that the activity report, he wants them in text. He thought that was in text. And the GS reminded him that it was in text and that they've already provided those documents to members of Congress ahead of time so he can read. That was it. So he was answered. The second one was that he wanted to raise an issue about the matter that vote had already been taken on in its past and we had moved on. So the president reminded me that we already voted on it, and you voted. You cast your vote already, and so we move on.
I see. So in a case, I mean, I'm just curious. So in a case where even after Congress, somebody has an issue on their mind, somebody has a concern, what are the channels available for such members of the association to put across those concerns after Congress?
Okay, if it's an issue at the floor of Congress, then you may have to write. It must be official. Because
even after
Congress is a serious matter.
Okay.
Congress is the high decision making of the Federation. It's not about radio talk and side issues and side talk. No. If you have issues, you must write. You must put in. It's the reason why the document for Congress are written. Have you seen the size of the
the convocation?
See the volume.
It's a large document.
Yes, like this. So even the one they were sending to her, they sent by 3 separate emails because all could not go in one email. So how would the Secretariat waste their time to go through all this? And you just use your mouth to say something on radio and think that it must be admitted at floor of Congress. No.
So the question is, what happens after Congress? Let's say I come to Congress and I have an issue. So after Congress, you can still write.
On the point of law, in the provisions of the regulation or whichever you are referring to, or orders, the Congress, standing orders of Congress, then you write based on that. You think that this procedure was in error. You understand? So steps must be taken to maybe correct them at the next Congress so that you've notified the association. So then you go through that process.
I see. I have a question on the amendment, but I think the General Secretary will be the best person to ask. So I won't throw that at you because that's more in his lead. But let's talk about some of the highlights. You know, the biggest thing has to do with the term limits. I think
what's your question to the GS?
I wanted to find out what was the ground on which, for example, one vote was taken for the amendments. I'm just curious that there were 3 or several amendments. So the term limits and I'm trying to remember, but a few others. Term limits, the second vice president bit, and a few others. I know, at least from where I sat, I thought that they were unrelated, and so I thought separate votes would be taken for each one.
No, they were related. In fact, the same. It was Article 37. So the amendment was on Article 37.
Okay.
So if it happened that the amendment were unrelated.
So different articles.
Mutually exclusive. That different articles, different provisions in the statute, say Article 37 and say Article maybe 12. Then you could, present it and vote on each of them. But all those that FIFA agreed for us to amend fell under Article 37.
Okay.
So it was one just to amend Article 37.
I see.
So the issues we're talking about are mutually inclusive, or they are not mutually exclusive.
So that's why one.
Yeah, under Article 37.
Okay. So I have that context because I wondered why each one was not taken and then voted for independently. Because
to amend Article 37, first of all, to align the term of the reference, term of the president to the terms of the executive council members, and then also align with CAF and FIFA. And then the other one was to now have a second vice president in the shape of a female.
Yes.
You understand? Who also have the same term limit. So you see they are very much
related. Fair. So on the point of term limit,
37, we'll talk about the executive council, and that's where you find the president, members of the executive council, vice president. In this case, Article 37(2) talks about the appointment of vice president.
Yeah.
And so in this case, we would change the text there to include appointment of vice presidents, first vice and second vice, where the second vice must automatically be a female.
Fair.
You understand? And then 37(3) talks about term limit for the president and executive council. So just change the text there so that it will align.
Okay. So the first one was the extension. Second one was the first and second vice president.
That the first one, Article 37.
Yes. So
talks about the election of the vice president at the maiden meeting of the executive council.
Yes.
So this text now will change to election of vice presidents.
Plural, the second, first and second.
Yes, first and second. Where the second will be a female.
Okay.
Then Article 37(3) talks about term limit of the president and the executive council.
Okay.
So in the Article 37(3), it says the president will have a 4-year term, maximum 2 terms, whether consecutive or not. While the executive council and the vice president will have 4-year term for 4 years and then 3 terms, whether consecutive or not. So we change that text there to align with this. So the president will have 3, the same as the vice president and then the executive council.
Okay.
So there are no different provisions in the statute. There are no different articles.
Okay.
Article 37.
Okay, fair point. That's okay. I didn't have the context that it was under Article 37. So I assumed that each one would be voted for because my assumption was that Congress members would feel a certain way on one thing, but not feel the same way on another. That's my assumption. But you've explained that it's all under Article 37.
And all those things were sent out, you understand? And it's good. You see, normally some of the things we form opinion, but that is really, comprehending what it's in there. If you read, you would understand. Or if your attention is drawn to it, then you understand. Then you don't make, judgment.
Okay, great.
There was Article 81 as well. Was it part of the votes?
81.
That was the deletion of transitional provisions.
No, that's something from FIFA, and that one is not. I don't think it's was subjected to vote. It was not part of the things we voted on.
Okay.
FIFA was advising us that we've gone through the transition period. Article 81 deals with transition period. What we needed to do, who would even form the election committee per the provisions in Article 81.
Yes.
It stated that the normalization committee will be the election committee for the administration. And they served that in the 2019 elections.
Yeah.
Subsequent to that, new elections committee was formed.
Okay.
Presented to Congress. Congress approved that. You understand? So they believe that we've gone through the transition period, and so it's no longer needed. It's not even applicable in the scheme of things. So we thought that we should delete that from the statute.
Okay, the transition thing, because I think we are in a period where we are not under normalization.
Yeah, we are not in transition.
Things are which means that should we ever get back there, then we need to have a conversation around what happens to a transition team and all of that.
Yeah.
So at least that's on the legal
again,
side.
What about those who believe that? Well, there could be members of Congress who want to have the tenure of the GFA president extended, and some would not be in agreement. But the same people would want a female second vice president.
And there will be some who won't.
And some who won't. So what was it going to be a challenge if maybe Congress decoupled all these and then took separate
So I just
votes for them?
explained that.
Yeah. So I understand. Yes.
So if you had an opinion when those things are sent to you, then maybe you could write.
So that could force separate votes to be taken.
Yeah, maybe if you write and it's appropriate, but in this circumstance, I find it very, very difficult because we're amending Article 37. That's why you take separate votes on Article 37. If the other subject matter to vote was to fall under different article, then probably it's clear on that.
So in this case, the voter, so you're looking at fairness when it comes to voting. His opinion is, I want second vice president, but I don't want to extend tenure. But now it's all Article 37, so he's forced to.
But actually, you get the basis of our.
I get it. But I'm saying that there's process for you to go through. Once the document are sent to you and you saw it, maybe you could write that you want to make a submission on it. So based on that, once you notify, you'll be invited to make your submissions, and that one will also be put to. Test there, vote there. If members of Congress agree with you, then we'll follow that. If members disagree with you, then we'll go by what is there.
Okay.
But normally we don't follow the process. That's the problem.
So is it that your members don't understand that they have to do some of these things? Or
I can't tell. No, but who says they don't understand? But they voted.
So the members had...
No, he's talking about this thing about, if I have an issue, I need to write...
No, they know. That's why. So how many members did you see them, agitating about this? All of them are aware.
Okay, well, there was an issue of...
The subject matter was put to vote, and 114 out of 124 people voted yes. You think they don't understand?
No, I mean, in terms of those who were dissenting, those who are dissenting opinion, in terms of writing to the General Secretary, highlighting certain points that,
let me tell you something. I read in an interview that my good friend, president of New DBRC, Sabato, said he had an issue with the convocation documents, so he was going to write to the Federation.
Okay.
Yes. That was last week before Congress. Okay. So he's very much aware that you need to write.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay,
so a day before Congress at the Executive Council meeting, which is the practice, I asked at the meeting, I asked the General Secretary whether they've received any different opinions or suggestions, or somebody's going to make something on the floor of Congress. He says, no, they haven't received anything since they sent the convocation document out. So if they had received, then that matter will be brought to Executive Council, and then we would consider adding that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it got to that point, then the GS will be compared, or the president will be compared, to invite the person to make their submission on the floor of Congress, and then that will be put to vote as well, if it's a matter to be put to vote or be decided on.
Right.
Quite interesting. I mean, again, this is context.
You understand what I'm
saying? We totally understand. We get you. Let's talk about, we're talking about the term limits. I don't think we have to belabor the point. Let's talk about some of the other things, some of the things that I found really interesting. Okay. One, refereeing. Yeah. There were new initiatives or things announced concerning the welfare of referees. 2,500 cedis for FIFA referees in the new season. Non-FIFA referees, 2,000 cedis in Ghana for Ghana Premier League matches, and then Division 1 and Women's Premier League referees to get 1,000 cedis each. I like these new things. My question though is based on this context. We know that currently there are outstanding issues of referees' payments and back and forth. What guarantees can the FA give that in the new season there won't be that challenge, that referees will not be owed a lot and will have trouble handling matches? And we all know the possible consequences that could arise. So what assurances can you give? Can the FA give that these monies will be paid on time, regularly, referees will feel comfortable, then we can know that we are getting the best from them?
No, the assurances has always been there. The assurances have always been there, because we've always paid our referees. Since this administration, we never carried arrears from the previous season into the next season. Yeah, we've always paid them before we begin the next season. Mm-hmm. When we took office, we thought that the payment of referees, and it's quite, substantial amount of money. If I tell you one weekend, we have 48 Division 1 league clubs. Mm-hmm. Now we have 18
Ghana
Premier League clubs,
yes.
18
Ghana Premier League.
Women's Premier League clubs.
Mm-hmm. So they are handling if there are 18 teams involved, referees are handling 9 matches in the Ghana Premier League, 9 matches in the Women's Premier League, 24 in Division 1. That is 42.
You understand? 42.
Yes. So 42 matches.
42. Minimum of 5 officials. Referee, center referee, fourth referee, assistant 1, assistant 2, match commissioner.
So that's 5.
Yes. In
for all these games.
Venue media officer.
Okay.
In certain circumstances, even assessor. Okay? Assessor. In certain circumstances, security officer. You know, depending on the game. But put it minimum 5, 6. And if each is to take average of, say, even 900 cedis, multiply 900 cedis by 6 by how many? Is it 20? How many games did you get?
24.
No, it will be 24. 24 plus 9 plus 9.
42 matches.
So multiply 900 by 6 by 42.
Okay.
And look at the figure. That is each weekend. You understand? So we decided to pay the match officials weekly. So that it doesn't pile up. And the referees were the ones who approached the federation and told us that if we paid the allowances on a weekly basis, they wouldn't have, they could not put the money into good use.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes. Because
this is coming in, you know, after allowances and after deductions and everything, maybe you are taking like 700 or something, you spend the money. And so the rather would want the federation to, you know, pay them in, you know, like lots, lot of matches, put it lot 1, lot 2, maybe after 5, 6 games, then you pay them. And that also resulted in this delay payment. So obviously it's going to be in arrears. Because by the time you do 5, 6 matches, it will be 2, 3 months.
Yeah.
And then you hear they owe the referees 3 months, they haven't paid them, they owe them this. You understand?
But that's factual. I mean, they hadn't been. Of course, they've not.
When you hear that the federation owes the referee 10 matches, it means that one of the referees, maybe the federation owes 4 or 5 matches, another 4 or 5 matches, but because it's been 10 weeks. So you think that one person is owed 10 weeks? No. Because you don't do match every weekend. Others get to do some of the matches.
Of course.
You understand? But one thing that is established is that by the beginning of the following season, we would have cleared the arrears. So the assurances are always there. And it's going to be there. And the referees' welfare is being on the table of the Executive Council. We're discussing this, even to the point, one time the President mooted an idea that we needed to have professional referees.
Full-time referees.
Yeah, full-time referees.
Referees who don't do anything
thing. But they, you know, they officiate for the Premier League.
Yes.
And that every weekend they will be there. We select the best referees and make them professionals on salary.
Okay.
In Ghana, I think we have only one professional referee, Daniel Lai, who is a professional to CAF and FIFA.
Okay. So refereeing is the only thing he does.
That's how come you see him almost every event is there. If he's not there at the center officiating, he's a VAR.
Okay.
He was selected as a professional referee. You understand? But all this has got to do with finances.
Yes.
You know, revenue.
Yeah.
So the welfare of referee has always been top agenda on the federation. So once it is we got this partnership agreement, the APL, and we thought that money was coming, the club is going to make money. So why don't you improve the other stakeholders of the game, who are the center men? You understand? So we do not want a situation where it is that the clubs are being paid well or the clubs receiving money and the referees we don't care about. No. We care about them. And so not only the match fees have increased, if you listen to Congress very well, we're now going to provide 3 uniforms each.
Yes, so 3 uniforms.
280 referees we have. 280 referees. Cut the number. 280 referees. 3 uniforms each. That is match uniforms and 3 warm-up uniforms. And then 2 boots each for officiating. Because warm-up and boot is something we don't pay attention to. But you go to games now, you see, even at the warm-up, somebody wearing green, somebody wearing yellow, somebody Nike, somebody Adidas and warming up.
Okay.
It doesn't look well. And from where we want to take the game to where we want to, the kind of production that we expect to come from beginning this season, we thought that the referees must move along, we must move the referees along that path. That's how come that is there. And aside that is our provision of insurance package for the referees and their immediate family. Then we can get the peace of mind to travel across length and breadth of Ghana and then officiate the games. You see, so that's how come you had those welfare incentives for our referees.
I was particularly happy to be when I heard that dependents of referees, i.e. their families, were also, the FA was thinking about them. I thought that was a very interesting and a noble thing to do. The match review panel, it was the other point on refereeing that interested me, that the match review panel would be meeting 3 times weekly to review GPL, WPL, and DOL matches with the rulings now final. That's the point of interest. Why that change?
This change because now to whom match is given, match is expected. We thought that we are improving the welfare of referees, and so they must be up and doing. You see, if you look at some of their decisions, some of them, it's obvious that maybe they are just not there. You understand? If you are not good, you step aside for those who are prepared to officiate. And then there are cases of, allegations of some of them deliberately trying to, cheat one club or the other. And so all their decisions will be subjected to review by the match review panel. We've changed the match review panel. We've tracked it a bit with new people. Now with this partnership between the GPL and APL, so almost all the games are going to be covered. The GPL games. Almost all of them are going to be covered. So they'll have the footages for them to review. That's how come we are now asking them to meet like 3 times in a week.
Because footage will be available
to review almost all the games. And if you don't do well, you step aside. So you cannot complain about no money again. Let's be real. If you do 3 games in a month, or even 2 games in a month, that is 4,000 or 5,000 cedis. If you do 3 games, that's 6,000 or 7,000 cedis. It's equal to monthly salary of some of us on full-time work here. And refereeing is part-time job. Besides refereeing, they have their separate jobs.
So the
understand? If you are giving that and you still do not, do well, you don't operate at the level we expect them, you may have to step aside for those who are prepared to do the job to do it.
The statement or the policy statement said the decisions of the match review committee will be final.
Yes.
What existed previously?
Previously,
for context, for those who may not understand.
Previously was final, and there was agitation that some of the decisions, they were not fair to some of the referees and that stuff. So then we brought in an opportunity for an appeal.
Okay.
Some went to appeal and they won, and then they came back. Meanwhile, the bad decisions in court that they took stood and against a club. So if you lost the point, you lost the point. You understand? So now we are now deciding that we want the referees to do their best. If you are not good, you are not good. And so once the match review panel reviews your performance and they believe that your performance is not there, we'll take the decision. And that will be final. Because refereeing, as I speak to you now, with the introduction of the Kajam Young referees, we now have quite a number of referees.
Okay.
And we even cut the numbers. So there are people behind the door knocking, wanting to enter. So if you are there and you are not keeping up, you are not doing well, you are not reading the laws of the game, or you're not keeping up, you drop off and other people will step in. That's why we are saying that decisions of the match review panel is not subjected to appeal. It's final.
Final bit on refereeing. VAR, where are we with our VAR project? We know that it's still not here yet, but we started a journey a few years ago, 2022, I think, maybe before. Where are we with VAR? How soon will Ghanaians see VAR?
We've had discussions, a lot of discussions. At a point in time, we wanted to purchase one ourselves, and the cost involved is huge. We thought of having at least minimum 2 in the system.
Okay.
So purchase one, and maybe we rent one, and other stuff. It's all got to do with the finances. So I'm sure that once it is that the finances are clear, we have it because it's top on our agenda. It is top on our agenda.
But do we have timelines as to possibly when we want, we can, or we are starting?
It's not mandatory. It really improves the game, the performance of the referees and that, but it's not mandatory for you to have it in your league. It's not mandatory.
Oh, it's not mandatory.
No, it's not mandatory for you to have it in your league. But we believe that it would help in terms of the output of the referees, and then also would clear some doubts in terms of decisions of the referees. If it happens to, it gives you peace of mind. If you're an investor in a club and decision is taken about you are in doubt, and VAR you have the opinion of the VAR to confirm the decision of the referee, then you clear your doubt. So that's why we're working on to have some.
I see. 8:31. This is still the Sporty Breakfast on Sporty 106.1. You can send in your comments via WhatsApp 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. My name is Nathan. Raymond Yamado is my co-host. He's here with me. Frederick Acheampong, Executive Council member of the GFA, is also here. We are picking out a few other talking points from Congress. Ray.
Yeah. So in terms of the VAR setup, so assuming we fast-track plans and now we bring VAR, apart from, say, the Accra Sports Stadium, to some extent, Legon. I don't know.
Because we've already, Ghana, Nigeria, there was VAR.
Yeah, we know Ghana, Nigeria, when Dreams FC played Zamalek.
Oh, there was VAR.
Yes. I've not finished. Apart from these major facilities,
Accra,
we know
Kumasi,
a lot of games
Legon,
are played
probably
outside these facilities. Do we have facilities that are up to scratch to be able to host a facility?
So VAR comes in two. VAR comes in two. That's what I'm saying, that if you heard me, I said we're planning to have at least two in the system. There's one which is mobile in the van. So it means that you are purchasing, it's like purchasing an ambulance. You purchase the van with equipment installed in the van. So when you go to the venue, you lay the cables and then get the cameras to respond to it, and then you get the source of power.
Okay.
So the images are transferred directly into the van, and they will view it there and make a decision, communicate with the referee on the page. So the mobile one can move to.
Okay.
So with the mobile one,
and then the one that you install,
is there a monitor?
You have a room at the stadium, so that you can lay the.
But with the mobile one, is there a monitor on the side of the pitch, or the decisions will come?
No, you install it. Yes.
So you install one on the side of the pitch.
It's a screen.
Okay.
You know, because of what I do a lot of matches across Africa. So I've seen several of the mobile ones. You have a screen, so they will come and install the screen on the
side of the pitch,
and then they will.
And then there's the mobile one
with the referee.
And then you mentioned one where you have to. There's the room itself.
Yeah, there's a room. There's a VAR room like set up in the room, and the cables are laid also with screen at the pitch side for the benefit of the center referee to have the second opinion.
But if we want to sanitize the game and eschew this concerns about referees not being credible and all, shouldn't the FA prioritize?
Of course, it's
having VAR, so that even in the next season or this upcoming season, if you want the product to carry the weight you want it to carry, in terms of expense and all, we've seen the FA spend on things that are not extremely important.
No, in opinion.
In
opinion. Yeah.
But this is a must. This is a must-have. Shouldn't the FA break the bank?
No, even
to make sure we get it.
Let me be honest with you. Even in advanced countries where the VAR is available, they don't even implement them in all games. You understand? You go to the GPL, in all GPL games that VAR, but in League Cups, VAR.
You mean in England? Yes.
In England, that's also trophies. Not
no, but the main
so I'm saying that yes, this is the reason why we took the decision to try and get it. You see,
but it's taking too long.
No, it's not taking long, because if you want to do it, for instance, okay, we bring VAR 1 and weekend there are 42 matches and you place that one center. What about the other matches? Are they also not important? I don't know referees in the other matches. So that's why you start from somewhere. So I would want you to. Even the fact that we are thinking about it, we've made moves in negotiations and other stuff. I'm saying at point in time you see VAR, but you need to have the revenue.
So next season we have to continue. The referee was a penalty. Was it a penalty or offside? No, offside. The referees again.
But if you listen to what we're discussing here, is he in improving the performance of the referee, informed the decision even to improve
the match. You're saying that their benefits, welfare, match
insurance, and everything. Yes.
You see,
and then VAR, and then we add VAR.
Everything looks like joke to you.
No. Is it?
Why laughing?
FIFA referee, Ghanaian FIFA referee, the one who, the South African. No, this is a referee, Joseph Lamptey. This is a referee who was well resourced by FIFA. Or is well resourced by
then
FIFA.
Got himself embroiled
and got himself embroiled in.
So, but do you think that?
The money, the money itself doesn't cure the mischief that occurs on.
Yeah, but that's around the world. Is that also? But do you think that even in the advanced countries that the referees do not make mistakes? They do. where they are paid very well, they do.
Yes.
So why are you singling out only Ghana?
So that's what I'm saying. That the money,
And even at the World Cup, they select the very best across the world. You see, with fun, occasion of errors and mistakes by referees.
But see, Fred, week after week, Ghana Premier League match after Ghana Premier League match, we end up discussing performance of referees more than the game itself. It's a concern. And I'm saying that money does not cure that mischief. Resourcing the referees, giving them a lot of money, owing them or paying them in arrears or having an arrears model to pay them and all, does not solve the mischief.
I have to be honest with you, until number 12.
Number 12, yeah.
Our referees were held high across Africa and the world. I have to be honest with you. And when number 12 happened, they lost trust in our referees. So now we're building that trust there. You understand? We have FIFA referees in Ghana. They do not use VAR in the local scene. But they travel, go officiate games, and they do it.
That's
we
true.
have leagues with VAR available to referees. They travel, go officiate games, and it's bomb. It's an institution.
So okay, Fred, let me ask you this. So all of these angles are true. There are some referees, you give them VAR, they won't do well. Some without VAR are doing well. Raymond, you are making a point about whether or not there's money. There are some referees who are just inherently poor.
Yes. So in this circumstance, even there's availability of VAR.
So Fred, then
how does that cure it?
What is being done to ensure that at least we have referees who are credible, ethical, and we know that once they are handling a game, the incidences of strange decisions will be minimized?
You just raised it. I just told you that now the Executive Council has taken a decision that decisions of the match review panel are not subject to
appeal.
Okay. So you go into a game knowing that if you go and misbehave, you are out of the system.
Okay. So hopefully you should deal with some.
Either to the referee, you go to the review panel and the review panel would, give out their verdict and that stuff. Then they would appeal, and sometimes the appeals are overturned, and they go back. You find them on the field. We are saying that now, once we put out these, incentives, and we're working even to get a VAR and other stuff, decisions of the match review panel, and now they're going to be meeting a lot and review almost all the games, especially the Premier League games. Their decisions are not subject to review. Once it is, you didn't do well, or your performance is that low, you're out of the system.
But would you agree with me that over the years, our referees have simply refused to improve? Our referees are not improved. Even our best referee today, Daniel I, is used as VAR. He's used as a VAR official.
Yeah. But it's part of it. It's down to.
But you want to see your referee in the center, right? VAR is part, yes, but you want to see your referee on the pitch, running across the length and breadth of the pitch.
SportyFM.
Our referees are not getting there.
Well, I want to.
What is the challenge?
But I just said it. I told you. Yeah, maybe you didn't listen to me.
No, I'm saying what is causing the lack of improvement?
Ray,
am I right? That's
Raymond. Yeah, it's Raymond. Yeah.
No, but I just told you that prior to number 12, there's so much believe in Ghanaian referee. But after number 12, the trust went dead. Even we're struggling for matches for our officials. Because everywhere, if you go to CAF and FIFA, they're telling Ghanaian referees they are corrupt. They are this because
but we have
because
FIFA referees.
Because of the image that number 12 gave to Ghanaian football or Ghanaian referees. So now the trust is now building up. So you could have the FIFA badge, all right. And our FIFA referees have been doing games, except that maybe there are no high-profile games, so they escape your lenses or you don't. They've been doing games, but not the high-level games that we used to experience. So gradually we're building that back.
But I think a few months ago, when did we speak with referee manager Alex Cote?
Yeah, I think
a few months ago, and he was talking about. I think Ray's point was even the knowledge levels of the referees. And referees manager Alex Cote, I don't know if you ever heard him say that he was assessing the referees, and he was making a point that he noticed that lots of them struggled with understanding.
No, I agree with you.
The offside.
Let me tell you something, because all these things I'm answering because I serve in the refereeing sector.
Yeah. So
listen, you are not far from right. We realize that So in addition to the fitness test that they do, now we've introduced written text.
Okay.
All in the build to build the trust and confidence or their
knowledge and
competence. We've introduced written text as well. Because for fitness tests, I can train for like a month and come and pass. You understand? But when you put the person in the game, interpreting the laws becomes an issue.
Okay.
So before we take you even to Pram for you to do the course before the season will start, at the fitness test, the night before the test, three processes. First of all, you do medical. If you feel you are out, when you pass the medical, you come and sit for the written test. Because first we're doing online. If I'm doing online, I sit in my home. I can get remote to answer the questions for me. Yeah. So we now brought them that come and write physically, pen, paper, write. Then we'll mark and grade you. That we use that also to take referees out.
Right. Okay. So which means that which means that you've had referees who have failed the written test.
Yes. High-profile referees in the local scene
failing the written test.
Yes. So since last season we've introduced that. So this season, last weekend, we did the test for the Southern sector. We did Akofo. So Friday evening they did the text is a written text, and then Saturday they did the fitness test. This weekend in Kumasi, they will do for Northern sector. Those from Ashanti, BA, Northern, Upper East, Upper West, and all those areas. They would do the test in Kumasi. So before the Saturday, Friday, they will do the written test, and then Saturday they will do the fitness test. We'll combine these two results before we can grade you for you to officiate in the game. So all these are processes to try to build the competence of our referees. Before you come and do the written test, you should be reading the laws of the game. You should be watching games before, taking decisions, match situations. And then, after all these, when the referees are selected, we take them to Pram and do the course. Several videos are played for them to make decisions.
Okay.
In split seconds, make decision. What would you decide?
So we've put in all these measures to ensure that those who finally arrive at the course
we've prepared them enough.
Tested enough, and
yes,
prepared
them. That is why now we say, if your game comes to a review committee and you are found guilty, you will go out, because we are doing so much for refereeing. Apart from that, in the mid-season, last year we introduced mid-season training again to train the referee for the second half, because we were thinking that maybe the training we offered was the beginning of the season. So, but as they go through several months, some of them may have escaped them, or they have forgotten some of them. So we introduced mid-season training as well. Now we want to introduce quarterly refresher, online refresher training that you stay at your home, but you sign up to it, and then they would, because we want to prepare the referees.
Now, one question: where does the referee appointments committee sit?
They sit at the GFA.
So, who becomes a member of that appointment committee?
The former referees with the requisite qualification. Yes, and people in the system. So I serve on a committee within the referees committee. I don't serve on the referees committee. What you call the referees appointment committee in the regulation is called referees committee. Okay. I don't serve on that. I serve on the assessors and classification.
Okay.
You understand? So I'm always available when they are doing the training. I see them myself.
You see, okay.
You see, when they do the markings, I see the results.
So the referees appointment committee, do you have ExCo members sitting on that?
No
ExCo
member. No ExCo member.
So it's an independent body on its own.
Yes.
So why is it that a lot of stakeholders seem to express concerns about the decisions they make
in terms of appointing referees for games?
Some of them accuse the appointment committee of appointing hatchetmen to go and do a job on behalf of ExCo members. So you've heard all those allegations.
Football and a lot of allegations. That is why I was telling you that. So mere allegations about somebody does not run that the person should lose the job. You see, this is where we are going to. Let me give you.
This one is referee.
It's you. How is that different from? Let me give you an example. I think 2 seasons ago or something, it was a serious allegation from my own father, Alhaji Guza, that a referee called him and said that there was a game coming up. King Faza had a game. So the referee called him and told him that he wants to go, in their terms and collect his game. What I say? Okojini game. He wants to be appointed for his game.
That particular game.
Yes, and so he should give him 2,000 cedis to go and give to the appointing committee chairperson.
Yes.
So that the chairperson
will put him
in the game.
Yes.
So let me tell you the trick. What happens is that, and now, only yesterday, I posted something on the GFA Council platform. And normally I don't have to tell you this, but I'm saying that because I saw something, what's going to happen in Spain. In Spain, what they are going to do is that they will not communicate the appointed referees for games until a day before the game. There, they have the luxury to do that because it's easy for you to travel across Ghana. But in Ghana, the person have to know ahead because you have to travel maybe from Accra to maybe the northern part of Ghana. Some of them you need to seek permission from your office. There's a lot involved. So I just posted that. Maybe you cannot do it a day before the game, but we'll minimize the number of days. Because what the appointment committee was doing that, when they come for sitting, like today they sit, they appoint like 3-4 league games ahead. You understand? Yeah. So when you are doing like 3 games or 4 games, like a month. So some of them, they inform them so that you will prepare yourself for. So when the referee was made aware that he was going to officiate the game, then that called Alaji that, Mami 2000, I mean, from my referees committee, now more appointment made a match, I mean, the amount. True, he took the money and then he was appointed. You understand?
He know he was going to be appointed.
The appointment had been made already. When they say they do 3-4 weeks appointment, so that they don't come and sit.
So he was going to referee the game anyway. He just went to take free 2,000.
They hadn't published it, but they've informed them so that they prepare themselves. Those who need to seek permission from the offices, they would have sought those permissions to travel. So because he was made aware that he was going to officiate this game, then went ahead to call the club chairman that give me money now, I'll give it to the appointment committee. They will give me your match so that I come and officiate for you. And then so after 2 weeks, then the name came up that he was the one going to officiate the match.
Ejumano.
You understand? So he came to the game, and Kifasa didn't win the game.
And
so Alaji was
of course.
Because you came to him, he didn't come to you. They made noise. We put the chairperson of the referees committee under serious investigation. We took a mobile phone, went to forensic auditing, and see whether there was a communication between him and the referee, whether because the guy said he sent the money. We checked the mobile money, whether indeed he sent money. It was all false. You understand? So some of the plenty and many allegations you hear in the media, some of them are not true.
So there's no influence. No influence.
I'm saying that some of them are not true. Those who we investigate some of them, but you see referees are being punished. If there are no influences or if they do well, you find referees being punished.
Well, the written test you spoke about, was it? Did it just start or?
I said we introduced it last season, only last season. Yes,
but in the past it hasn't been the case.
No, in the past we're doing fitness test. Since we took over as the administration, brought a lot of improvement on innovations into the system. Maybe a bit introducing
SportyFM.
But around Question and Teachers time, I know that there was an introduction of the written test.
I don't know about that.
And even when the normalization committee came, when FIFA of Ghana is the referee course in Sugakope, they did a written test.
Oh.
So there's
no, you are getting something different.
No, but there was a referee course in Sugakope.
Listen to me. You are getting.
There was a written test as well.
No, you are getting something different.
Okay.
I'm saying that when the referees go through the fitness test, we take them through the course. At the course, you do test.
Okay.
That one is been.
So the written test is part of the course.
I've done referee test. I did test with the former referees, and I was first. Can you imagine?
You have to get onto the pitch.
So why don't you want to?
So I'm saying that when they are doing the course, of course they would take you through. So after they organize tests for you, so you do it. That is the course. It's different from doing what they in past they call Cooper test at the stadium.
Yes.
So the test attached to the fitness test is what I'm saying that it's a new introduction. But the test they were doing when the referees are selected, if you select the referees for the season, you do test.
Of course, you do a test. So, but you're saying that this written
test, this one is before
now
you are selected.
In addition to the physical.
No, this one before you are selected. Raymond, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I think it's quite clear. Let's
even after this one, they will still do the test at Pram, but those are for the ones that are selected for the
course. They have made the cut.
So hopefully this season we are not going to be talking more.
We expect improvements.
Yes.
We expect.
Ray, I mean, Ray, we are all stakeholders, so we'll all also watch and see, and then if there are any concerns, we'll put those concerns to the FA and all of that. Actually, let's touch on a few things before we let you go. Sponsorship and marketing of the league. One big concern. You listen to callers, you listen to watchers of the league. And there isn't a lot of marketing of the league. What's the plan going forward? What is the FA doing to let people know that the Ghana Premier League is being played, and if they want to watch a game, they can go here, and they can find it to watch here, so that it's in their faces, it's in their ears, it's in their mind.
Knowledge is not, one person said, it's the reason why we sign up with the APL. So the package or the agreement between the GPL and the APL or the GFA and Adesa Productions encompasses all this, promotion of the league, marketing of the league, even branding and everything. So this season, I can assure you that would see massive jump in terms of the league experience comparable to last season or the previous seasons. That one I can assure you that. And so because we thought that the league needed a lot of marketing, needed a lot of promotion.
It is true.
You see, the packaging and everything. It must be attractive. You cannot say because you are hurt in the Okotoko you're going to play, and so somebody might just get up and come. So the person might have some bit of compelling reason why he has to come, or something that he has to come up to. So that's why we seeking professional expertise in those areas. That's why we sign up. So all this is a part of the agreement between the FA and the Adesa Productions. So I can assure you that a lot will be happening. Even radio commentary, we're planning to syndicate it. Syndicated radio commentary, so that you know what is going in.
Okay. What's the plan for that? You have a select team of commentators, and you share that same feed.
The good commentators, and then maybe we can sell the product. So maybe you put advertisement on it. So once you run the commentary and the advertisements, you play it from the studios of Sporty, it goes around the whole Ghana. So whichever radio stations pick it up, the adverts,
the same thing there.
Yes. So people would then sign up to the main source. And if you want to have the feed on the radio, maybe their commitment. You need to play the advertisement of the sponsor, or maybe you need to buy the feed. You understand? So we are commercializing the product. And if you commercialize, you need to put in a lot of effort to look attractive so that people will sign up to it.
Let's talk about the media twofold. So lots of people who watch the Congress and to go back to the Congress, lots of people had issues and we all, and even those in the media, we were wondering what was happening. Can you explain to us, one, why the media was not allowed into the hall where Congress was happening, and the media had to stay out and all of that? Some of my colleagues who were there, they'll say that, there was a tent for media, but maybe not enough seats, all of that. So one, why was the media not allowed in the hall?
Okay, I wish that any of your colleagues who was there would be present here in the studio.
Yes.
And then come.
Ronald Acheampong, he was there.
Will come. The setup of Congress, we wanted to change the Congress experience, like I told you.
Yeah.
When you asked me initially, because I wanted the experience around Congress, because we're talking about decision makers of the federation. It's the high decision making body. Like I told you previously, you would sit. There's a chair for you. Only chairs arranged. So if you brought in document or other things, you have to put it on your lap or put it on the floor. You understand? If you giving water to drink, you have to either put it on the floor, put it on your lap. We thought it wasn't nice for our congressmen. So we wanted to have a proper conference setup with tables in front of them. If you get the room setup changed from previous seasons. So it then reduces the space. It reduced the space available. In fact, on the right side, we had the other invited guests. We also had tables in front of them, but realized that the space could not contain the number of people we had invited. So we took off even the tables for our invited guests. We thought that they are coming to listen. But for congressmen, they will participate in Congress. They've come with their document, they've come with other stuff. And there were souvenirs from the Federation for members of Congress, all placed on the tables as well. So reduce the size, the space available in the conference hall. So were we going to allow maybe 5 media houses in? What happens to the rest? The backlash we could not contain. So the FA then decided to pay money for full production house. That if a television station was to come there, it would come with maybe 1 camera or 2 cameras maximum. But we did full production with 5 or 6 cameras with all angles of Congress and put that for feed for anybody to.
Okay.
You know.
So it was live. For those who were wondering, the Congress was live on social. So if you watched it, it was on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Live. So Max TV, for instance, took it live, took everything. So we did the production, and then gave it out, and also offered, like you were saying, the space to for them to rest whilst Congress was in session. Because during the session of Congress, you didn't have opportunity to ask questions. We would ask questions after Congress. So we then issued the press statement that after Congress we would organize press conference so that questions that media want to ask, they could ask those questions. Then we provided the backdrops for the various interviews. So we increased the number of the backdrops. Normally we'd have one backdrop, but this time we had like 3 or 4 backdrops for interviews that we could conduct interviews around all the space.
For our listeners, if you listened, it was on Sporty. I'm sure it was on other stations. It was on our socials as well for those.
Yeah, you also took it live,
yes,
eh?
we took
okay.
it live. But my question to you is that
we did a production, and good to know that Sporty also took it live. And so it came to mind that so at CAF FIFA they do it that way. When there's no space in the room, they don't allow media in there. But in our case, we allow our media. But under this circumstance, there's no space. Why don't we do the production and then organize press conference like we do at CAF or FIFA, and then the media would come in and ask their questions.
Two questions. So the room couldn't contain everybody. Understood. Why was there a feed, say, not provided for the media to also, let's say, watch outside or something?
Okay, maybe next time we'll have to put one of the screens outside, and then people outside could also.
Because then the questions will be based on if they see anything, they note, and then they can ask. But they were not in the room.
Okay.
So second one.
Saying, it's
going for it.
It's a nice idea. Let me tell you something. Last year we had a giant screen at the side of the Executive Council.
Yeah.
Okay. So this year we said no. When they were showing the activity, we would have to pan our head, turn this way and watch. So we wanted a screen to face us. They put some small screen at the back. If you enter the room, small screen at the back. So it's a good suggestion coming from you. We wanted to mount a screen outside, so those outside could also watch. So maybe next season we would consider that next time.
Second question on the venue. If that was the challenge, space, why didn't the FA consider a larger space to contain everybody?
Okay, so like I tell you, first of all, there are provisions in the statute and the standing orders of Congress. You need to notify venue of Congress, date. They are requirements. You need to meet them.
Yes.
So venue, date sent out to members already. So they know where they are coming for the Congress. And then the setup was done a day before Congress.
Okay.
You understand? The setup was done a day before Congress. The provision of the souvenirs, we thought about it, so that one was not an issue. But we realized that the sitting of our members was not comfortable and not there. So we needed to improve it. So we then decided to provide those tables in front. So the introduction of the tables then reduced the amount of space available in the hall. So there was had to be a second thought. So if you realize, it was Monday, a day before that, the FA issued a press statement that would be press conference.
Yes,
after.
I remember it was on a Monday.
Yes, because when you realize that.
So maybe the FA can consider a larger venue.
The room could not contain the number of media expected. It could contain some amount of media, but how do you allow 5 people to enter and then you stop the rest? Then it become an issue. So even in the night before Congress and the usual Executive Council, the RFA meeting, we discussed that then henceforth we should move in Congress out of Pram because of the situation. So we took the regions. So I even jokingly suggested that the RFA should be bidding for Congress that will come to, I was suggesting that we should go to voter region in the next Congress if they have larger space than the ET Mesa Hall at Pram. So it's all about the venue.
Okay.
No malice at all.
No malice. Great. Going forward into the new season, at league centers, some colleagues and all of us in the media, we do have, because sometimes you go to a league center, there isn't a designated place for media. Even if there is, the place is occupied by fans. Journalists are not comfortable to work. What's the FA ensuring that a key stakeholder like the media will feel comfortable at a match venue so that they can give their best report of the league and help?
Very, very important.
And help propagate the gospel of the league.
It's part of the club licensing regulations. Very important. And this season, we try to, enforce the club licensing requirement to 80-90%. And it's an important feature at match venues. The media tribune. So important. so important. And so we are encouraging all the venues. So that's why we are saying that even with this ADESA production and GPL thing, it's not all venues which are television friendly. So those that are not television friendly, there will not be live games there. And for the venue to be classified as such, it must include all these facilities. The facility for the media is so important. The media needs space to work, and it's an important feature. So it forms part of the people inspecting the various venues for our league games.
Great. So, Ray, you've heard. So now when we are going to the Ghana Premier League games, we'll see if the club.
Which of the venues? We I'll take note. I'm not part of the club licensing board, but I can relay pass it to the, because it's important. It's part of the club licensing requirement.
We'll go and see.
So if you have experience of such venues, let us know.
Sure.
We'll see. We'll visit enough grounds
a lot of them.
Yes.
To see. Ray, do you have a question?
The current statutes, as approved by Congress.
They amended.
They amended.
Yes,
they amended. As approved by Congress. When does it take effect?
Statute takes effect from the Congress that promoted it or adopted it.
Okay. So we can confidently say that we have a second vice president of the FA.
Not necessarily so. The amendment comes into immediate effect subject to next elections.
Okay.
You understand?
What does that mean?
That is for the Article 37?
Yes.
So Article 37 kicks in after the next election?
No, it takes immediate effect. But you see, in the provision, even to elect the vice president, it says that at the maiden meeting of the Executive Council, when is the maiden meeting? This is really taking place already.
Okay.
You understand? It then suggests that when you do another Executive Council election, then you do those elections.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Radio, I'm not too clear.
So 2027.
I'm not too clear.
New FA president.
You're not clear.
So
yes.
2027, new FA president.
Yes.
At the maiden meeting of the new ExCo.
Okay.
They decide who.
So we have an ExCo that is in existence.
Yes.
So a new ExCo can only exist when there have been elections.
Yes.
Okay.
So that
now
is
I'm
when
getting it.
they'll have the second vice president.
So now it's in our statutes. It's adopted.
So now it is
from today.
yes.
It's in our statutes.
Yes.
But you don't have.
But the position of
vice president.
Yes, you know, subject
first
to the
and
next
second vice
elections.
president. The position of second vice president doesn't exist now. It can only come alive
because
after the next election.
When to elect the vice president, is that also?
Yeah. At the maiden sitting of ExCo. That will be the new.
To be honest with you, that's my understanding.
That's
but
your understanding.
If I have to be fair, we haven't even met after the Congress as a body. We haven't met to discuss the details of all these things. Okay. But that is
how you understand.
Because normally, you know what I do? I take the statute, I take the regulations, I read, try to understand, so that when questions are asked about these things, I'm able to say something. That's all I normally do.
Okay.
Great. There's a question here.
You're so concerned about Gifty.
No, it's not.
I don't know if you monitored social media yesterday.
No, I did not. Yes,
so
so busy.
It was all over that now the FA has a second a second vice president.
I see. If FA gets a second vice president,
yes,
the same thing will be communicated to the media.
Yes. Because the understanding, that's why I was, because the understanding, people were asking, wait, so does it automatically mean that, Madam Owari-Mensah is now the executive or the second vice president of the FA? In one occasion, I said no. On another occasion, I said yes. And that's why I realized that, I wasn't even too clear
so
what was happening.
The election of a vice president has to be done at that first ExCo meeting.
Yes.
Well, it would make sense.
That is the provision. That is the provision in the statute.
So does it mean that all the other amendments under Article 37 are also subject to the next election?
No, listen to me. I'm saying that the amendment we made and comes into immediate effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the text now determines when all those things would work.
Okay. Then I understand that, for example,
but
3 terms
for other amendments again.
No, I'm talking about these ones.
Yeah, 3 terms is there. There is the text.
Yes.
Fortunately, there's no election tomorrow, so 3 terms is there.
Okay.
Yeah,
so until when we have an election, that's when.
No, the 3 terms is there. So now it's there. We know that every GFA president would have maximum 3 terms. That is if the person decides to run the full course of the process.
Based on that, let me ask you something that somebody asked me. right? I may know the answer. For the purposes of education, I will still ask you. Somebody asked me, okay, so Nathan, does it mean that Mr. Okraku, in the event that he wants to contest again,
he's eligible?
The
question is answered.
No, that's not even that. Okay. Somebody asked if it means that now, should he win, say, the next election, he gets to go 3 terms, or he's already done 2 and he can only do 1 more.
No,
he's eligible.
The 2 will be done in October 2027. So if he decides to contest, then he have another shot. That's another term.
So that is 1 more if Mr. Okraku decides to contest. Any other person will now have 3 if
because you see, what we need to know is that what we did at Congress was to amend portions of an existing constitution, existing statute.
Yes.
Was not a new statute.
Yeah.
If it's new, then the terms of the new statute will be abided by. Then you begin from the day the statute is adopted.
Yeah.
But we amended an existing. It's a living thing. We amended it, so it's continuing.
Okay. So for those who were wondering, now you have clarity.
Yeah. So Nathan, let me take you to the text for the appointment of the vice president.
Yes, please.
The first vice president of the association shall be elected from amongst the members of the executive council at its maiden sitting. He shall act in the absence of the president, and in his absence, the second vice president shall act. You get it? So at the maiden sitting of ExCo, that's when the vice presidents are appointed.
Okay.
Correct. So first to be appointed at that maiden sitting, post the election, and then vice would also be appointed at that same. So at this point,
I think we are
quite
cannot
be called the second vice president.
Yes. finally,
it's like I fell into.
No, it's not.
Oh no, this one. Oh,
it's not a chance.
No. Yesterday you didn't follow. If you had followed the discussions online, I'm sure you would have.
You would have seen. These were things that people were saying.
It is why forward by you.
No.
It was just conversations. That's why we were asking these questions. I mean, look. Actually, I'm sure you know, Ghanaians love their football. Anything around football concerns them. I'm sure you've seen people's reactions.
Of course,
to this, the amendment and all. People love their football.
Yeah.
So when you open the phone lines, I always say that it is the love for football. That is why you think that people don't like the
passion. You have no
people
idea.
have passion. They just want things to work. So when they believe that things are not going well, they will express. Anyway, actually, I have a question for you.
Hey.
This one said, some of the clubs, this one is a question, going back to the very top on concerning if you had concerns, you had to send them in writing ahead of Congress. So somebody asked a question in relation to that point. So the question, as I read, some of the clubs, including, I think some of the club officials, including Sami Enimado, who was here a few days ago, complained that the email sent to them had no avenue for a reply before Congress. Others too complain that the FA closed their email. I'm reading it as I see it. Others too complain that the FA closed their email. So when you send them a message, it doesn't go through. Can Achi please clear the air on that?
And I thank him for the question. First of all, I would want to deal with Samuel Nimado. He's my brother, he's my friend. I'm surprised with some of the things he's saying. He's been on the executive council before. And he knows, as an executive council member, how to reach out to the federation. If someone else was saying it, I will not be surprised. That's why I want to deal with him before I deal with the second part of it. That Enimadu is saying that he doesn't now know how to communicate with the federation or send email to the GFA.
He said he sent an email. It didn't go through. It kept bouncing back.
How's that possible?
He sat in the chair that you are sitting in and he said so.
The email, the generic one, info@ghanafa.org, is where the FA receives correspondences from FIFA, from CAF, from national associations, the Chad match we are coming to play, all the correspondence about the Blast Star game, everything comes through that. So how can the FA close an email? Bro, how many days did the FA close the email?
I would not.
These things were sent to you like 10 days ago. So all the 10 days, the FA closed the email until the day of... How is it possible, Chief? Chief, how is that possible? Because that email is what all the correspondence you go to.
So there were no issues with that email.
Not about that, and I'm surprised. I would want to have evidence. Yesterday I asked that. So they said that I've forgotten. I think it was in conversation with Mr. Free DJ Free, and I said, you send me screenshot of that. I'll personally go to the General Secretary to ask me questions about that. Up until now, he hasn't sent any screenshot. He said they send the mail bounce. I said, send me screenshot of the email.
Mailer demo.
The mailer demon.
Now does that happen? Send me screenshot of that mail that bounced, and I will go to the General Secretary and ask me questions. It's 24 hours now. I haven't received it, so I'll be interested to know that we are human. If it happened, let us know, and then we deal with it.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
but mere talking the radio and other stuff does not solve the real issues.
Right. But Fred,
bro,
before Congress, we saw in the media a court suit that was supposed to prevent you from dealing with that particular item of the tenure extension at Congress. Prevent Congress from discussing the issue of the extension
term
of
limits,
tenure, the term limits. Was the FA served?
I didn't see.
So the FA wasn't served?
No, I didn't see anything like that.
But we were told the FA had been running away all week.
Why do you run away? We had a meeting. We had a meeting before Congress, which is the convention, Executive Council. This time we didn't meet alone. We met with our regional FA chairman, with the FA staff president. We had a meeting a day before Congress.
So there
was nothing like that.
The FA never runs away from.
Yeah, but there was nothing like that. Who caught from who?
Yeah, so it was Kim Faisal.
From who? Kim Faisal.
Yeah, Kim Faisal.
Kim Faisal were present at Congress. Yeah. So if you go to court to seek injunction against somebody, would you go there? Would you be present there? They were there. They voted on this matter. Kim Faisal, one of the clubs who voted against, they voted on this matter, the amendment. Now, if I've gone to court to seek injunction, why would I go there and also vote on it?
Maybe because the processes hadn't been served.
Oh.
So.
You should believe in your cause. So I don't want the processes to happen. I don't want first of all the Congress to even take place or the matter. So then I would abstain. I would not even go there. But they were present and they voted. In fact, when the vote was done, my friend Awa Mohammed raised both hands for everybody to see that he's present.
Anyway, so you're saying that the FA did not receive or they were not
served
even
know.
This said court
injunction. I didn't get to know.
Oh, okay.
Quite interesting. Ray, I don't know if you have any other questions. Listeners, if you can send in your questions briefly and then.
Okay, so my final question. What do you make of the word out there that, look, when you go to UEFA have amended their constitution, statutes. Presidential term limit has been increased to 4 years or 4. Alexander Cheferin has made it clear that he's not interested in contesting the next election. People say that the current president of the FA has been in office, presided over this constitutional change or this statute change. And so, as a matter of principle or norm or convention, he should make his position clear that he does not seek to benefit from this statute change. Do you agree with people who hold out?
Okay, I'll answer you. First of all, Alexander Sefrin is Alexander Sefrin. Ketekreku is Ketekreku. You understand? I'm saying so because in Ghana in 1992, our president or our head of state was President Wallens. He supervised over the promulgation of our 1992 constitution. He benefited from it. He contested and ran for Ghana president, didn't he? Didn't he? He was the president.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And supervised the promulgation of our 1992 constitution. So it's individual decision. So that one does not arise.
Okay.
Number 2, Alexander Sefrin is in his third term. It's not second. He is serving his third term as we speak now.
Yes.
It is only the opportunity for him to go to fourth that he says he doesn't want to do fourth term. But as we speak now, his first term, second term, he sought for third term.
They had a 3 term.
Yes, he's serving his third term now. It's only the fourth one he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, after the extension.
Is the second.
After the extension.
That's the second response.
No, so
the third response.
No, actually, wait.
But you asked me a question.
The Sefrin one. But so just like we see, sorry, just like it.
Yeah.
He's done his 2 terms. The statute has been changed to 3 or 4. Sefrin's case, it was 3 or 4. It's been changed to 4 or 4. But he says he's not interested in it.
I just answered you on that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
saying that I've got individual differences. Yes. I've got individual differences. I'm saying that Sefrin supervised or superintended over the changes or their constitution. And I'm saying that President Rawlings superintended over 1992 constitution, but he benefited from it. He ran with that constitution and served another 2 terms. Okay. You understand? So we've got individual differences. And I can give you examples across the world. So that one is non-issue at all. It's individual differences. Okay. Number 2, and then I said that Alexander Safin has served 3 terms. So if there's something to be done in the 3rd term, he's done it. Okay. He's doing his. If there's something to be done in the 3rd term of Football Federation Association presidency, then Alexander Safin is benefiting from that 3rd term or executing it. And what then will prevent Kurt also to do something in the 3rd term. That is it. But on a more proper answer to you, we are, I think, halfway, or a little over halfway into the 2nd term. This is like 2 years before the next election. I think the next election will be October 2027. You understand? So I'm sure that when it goes to the time and he wants to contest, he will let us know. It's up to him. And me, I believe in that. I think that whether he will contest or not, a lot depends on what we do. What we do even between now and October 2027. If you've done so well, you will not be the person to say you contest. The people themselves, the football people themselves would, urge you on to do it. But if you realize that your circumstances have changed, maybe you have different ambition, he doesn't want to contest, nobody can force him. Can't force something out of his mouth. But there's more time for him to decide on that.
Reference has been made to the normalization.
I thought you said was your last question.
My last.
There's a question on the bed power locker room bonus. Right. So when you are done, I think you can answer that.
Reference has been made to the normalization committee in 2019 when they came in for that short time. FIFA made it clear that they were not supposed to take part in any election after their mandate expired.
No. That's not it.
No, they were bad.
No, that's not it.
No, NT were bad from contesting any election.
No,
that was going to happen.
I don't know the question I come to ask, but that wasn't the provision.
So
I can tell you.
So what was the provision?
You asked the question, then
I want to know. So we've made reference to that particular direction from CAF, from FIFA, that no member of the normalization committee was supposed to contest in an election after their work or after their mandate had expired. Meaning that anybody who had interest in benefiting from that statute change wasn't going to be allowed to contest the election per FIFA's directives.
No. Your understanding is so wrong.
Okay.
Let me help you out here.
So
first of all,
what did FIFA say?
The directive from FIFA was, and it's always going to be, is that once you are the one supervising, as normalization committee, you are the one supervising the change into the new administration, you are not eligible to contest in the immediate election. Okay, the election you are supervising, because their job or duty as normalization committee, they were the election committee. Okay, so they were not eligible to contest in that election, and not into perpetuity. So members of the normalization committee can come and contest elections in 2027.
Yes.
Are you getting what I'm trying to say? It was only for that particular election that they were supervising. They were not eligible to take part in the same elections. That was it. Okay. And 2, to bring it proper in your context, that was like an introduction or adoption of a new statute altogether. This one, even at the 2019 adoption of the 2019 statute, we said it, and FIFA were there. FIFA said it, that if the new administration comes, then they can take steps to amend portions of the statute that we didn't like. Because even before the adoption, the agitation, this third term thing didn't start today. It started very day we adopted the 2019 statute. We wanted 3 terms. And they said, what we should do with this. Wanted an increment in the executive council, wanted to do 20, 22 or 23 there. Then they said we should start with 12. Then when we the administration, then we take the steps to amend it. So the amendment of statute would be done by existing administration. They are not barred from participating in any election or benefiting from it or use the usage of the statute. No.
So to get it clear, the NC was barred from contesting because they were the EC.
No, they were barred from the contesting that particular election.
Because they were...
Not necessarily because they were the least. Them becoming the EC was another directive from FIFA. Okay? Because they thought that they didn't come to the position through election. You understand? Because for you to be on that board, you need to have gone to election. The people must say they want you. So it becomes like an imposition on the people based on circumstance. So FIFA themselves brought them. And so by bringing them, they were sitting there, their place was doing their job. So they were not eligible to contest in that immediate elections. If later they had interest and they want to contest in elections, they could file at later elections. But that particular elections that FIFA brought them, unelected, they said no.
But unelected, but in the letter and the spirit of the law.
SportyFM.
The spirit of the law. And I'm stressing on the spirit of the law.
No, but you haven't quoted any law, but I say spirit of the law. Which law?
Amendment of statutes and all. So, per the statutes, the new statutes that they gave birth to, the normalization committee gave birth to in 2019, ideal situation was that they were not supposed to benefit from that whole system they presided over.
I just told you.
So that would be the spirit behind FIFA's directive.
No. I just told you that.
No, I understand.
No, their very existence as normalization committee, they didn't go to any election. They had that benefit of being handpicked, okay, by FIFA. Yes. So FIFA said, no, we've brought our men.
Yes.
So they belong to FIFA. FIFA will paying them.
Yes.
Okay. And so you can't contest. If you want to contest, you resign from the normalization committee. You can't contest. You can contest future elections. But this election, you are our people. So you can't contest.
Well,
you understand, Ray?
I got you. If you say you are FIFA's people, no problem. But
you are very much aware that they were on salary.
Yeah, they were paid by FIFA.
And they were appointed by FIFA.
We suggested.
Wasn't the football people that elected them?
We government suggested the names to FIFA.
Yeah, but FIFA appointed them. As to, you understand?
Yeah.
Somebody recommended you, but somebody appointed you here. On the recommendation, the person that appointed you, not be here.
Yeah. So well, if that's the argument, I agree in parts, but again. That's what I'm saying. The spirit of the directive of FIFA. No, the spirit.
But
of
this
the
one FIFA hasn't given it
directive.
directive.
No, that's what I'm saying.
FIFA hasn't brought us.
In the spirit of the directive FIFA sent that time. I mean, if you preside over all the changes, 2-term limit and all, and you now Kofi Annan now wants to become FA president, some way. But you understand? That's what I'm saying. In the spirit of the directive they sent, that would have possibly been the thinking behind it. But well,
right. Actually, just finally before we leave, somebody asked a question about the bed power locker room bonus. What's the status of that in relation to where we are ahead of next season?
No, I think they've renewed it, and I think there was an increment, and even added the female clubs as well. Okay. So it is an enhancement if we actually improved it only very recently. It's still in existence.
So clubs should expect their locker room bonus.
The coming season, I think the bonanza for football in general will be interesting. Yes, quite interesting. Even for the media, that's what I'm saying. Football, I don't want to limit it to only the clubs. Even for the media, the production and everything around the match day experience that we expect, and then fan engagement. So for everybody involved in football, I think that it will be interesting.
Well, we'll see how things go. The league starts in September. 12th September, that's the opening weekend race. So let's all mark our calendars. On the 12th of September, the new Ghana Premier League season starts in about a month, or a month and less than a month, yes. Right? By 2-3 days. We'll see how things play out. Ray, so we'll all be there. Yeah. And then if we have concerns, we'll get in touch with Achi and relay all the concerns. Frederick, thank you so much for joining us. You've spent a good part of your morning with us. We really appreciate it. My producer, we should take calls. Okay. Let's take some calls. I'm sure people will have questions for Frederick Acheampong. 054-257-1061. Let's take about 4-5 calls. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Let me take this caller. Hello. Okay. All right. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mens. I'm calling from Adenta, please.
All right, please go ahead. You have a question for Mr. Acheampong?
Yeah, I have a question for him.
Okay.
back in the days when I was in secondary school in SHS3 in 2002, when during our election, we do secret ballots. Back in the days in secondary school. Why is it that our big men in football, we raise their hands like a kiss for them to be counted in front of someone that they are the election or the vote will favor? Because when the person is in front of them, they will not have that boldness to say no, to bring down their hand or raise their hands. They have to do something that will favor that person. Why are they raising their hands like this for their hands to be counted instead of secret ballots? Because according to them, they are saying that they are adopting the FIFA's rules of third term. In FIFA, if during FIFA's election, do they raise their hands to be counted? In CAF, do they raise their hands in CAF to be counted? If we are adopting whatever CAF and FIFA does, why are they raising their hands like this to be counted? They are not telling us the truth. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So, actually, please note that. I'm sure you answer. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is John, calling from Kasi.
All right. Please go ahead.
I want to ask Raymond a question.
You want to ask Raymond a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the question is, he spoke of, your wife's position in the FA as an ExCo member, and that she should recuse herself because of, corruption and allegations that have been laid against her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask him, should Pate excuse himself from playing football?
SportyFM.
Ray, do you want to answer?
I will not answer.
Okay, no problem. All right, 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, please, I'm Eric calling for Lachine.
All right. Okay, Eric, please go ahead.
My simple message is to the president of
Okay.
He shouldn't allow people to get access and say whatever they want. He has done his best. Okay, this thing that they did is not fair at all. It's not nice. You know that in everything you need to aim high. God has taken you from one state to another. He should just leave and give another person the chance to also come and lead the FA. For all you know, if he does that, he will be able to finally become the CAF president. He's the second vice or first vice. I don't know which of them, but I know he has been elevated to that status. They should be content with whatever God has done for him. They shouldn't be greedy. They shouldn't do that. It's not nice. And then the football people, I don't know what they want. Like, they are behaving as if they don't know their rights or what. This thing, assuming he's able to ascend onto the throne for the next day, that means there's a way that you say, okay, since they are saying that they do this thing, you should allow the person to go for 30, then I have to complete it too. And then it will not be fair. They should just do the honorable thing. When the time is up, you shouldn't contest and let others do. But for that, people will love him and respect him for that. That's my humble opinion. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. 9:29. I think we'll end the calls here. Frederick, there was a question.
Yeah.
Yes, the secret ballot. That was a question on the secret
so
ballot.
says back at his secondary school, they were voting.
Said they vote secret ballot. But why is it that in the Congress?
No, he said they were raising their hands.
No. He said in Congress, in his second, when he was in secondary school in 2002.
So that was what's applicable in his secondary school. Here at Congress, that's what we do. In Congress, it's also part of the practice or the orders at Congress, how we organize our congresses. That's how we vote. At FIFA, that is making an example. FIFA, maybe normally where they do their meetings, there are provisions of electronic voting system. So the board is there, the screen is there. You touch, then you do. A CAF, if it's available, no. If it's not available, they put up their hand.
But
the statutes clearly has stated which votes can be taken in terms of secret ballot and which ones can be taken in open votes. So the one to be taken with secret ballot is the election. It's there stated in our working document. So we don't do things just by backing or by chance. We do what is there. Maybe going forward, if the provisions of electronic, we could change our the laws in our various documents and maybe do different voting. But until that is what is there. And this is not the first time we are doing that. Anytime you are voting, raise by hands. It's there. We count.
So the argument of many is that, look, modern days, there's technology you can take advantage of. And just like you say...
But you see the setup at Pram. So how do you do the
just like you say, you are adopting best practices from FIFA, best practices from CAF. This is also a best practice that the GFA should embrace.
And I told you how they voted there. I'm saying that CAF, where venue that there's the electronic thing available to do. If not, they put their hand.
So best practice as FIFA.
And FIFA, they
Most
go to places, system. They install all those electronic voting guides. Do you have that, Pram?
You should put it in place. No, since that is where you choose to have your AG.
So we do not have, and so we go by what we do not have. So we go by what is in our laws.
Show by hand.
Yes.
Head count.
Open votes.
All right, 9:32. Frederick Acheampong, thank you so much for passing through. Really appreciate the time you've taken to speak with us, answer questions, clarify matters where there's clarity, and agreeing to disagree. Lots of the things, I guess the people listening will disagree, some people will agree, but the point is, this is why I love to have these conversations. It's not supposed to be confrontational. Once we are done, we all walk away having learned one or two things. And then the conversations deepen, and Ghana football is better. So I just
want to thank you for the time and for the opportunity, and also thank you for the engagement. Initially, we wanted to take me to somewhere. Invited me to discuss what do you call it, Congress.
Don't worry, it was an aside. It was an aside.
With something I wasn't prepared for.
No problem.
You came to meet it. That's why we just.
And we felt that as a member of the association, we just wanted a take from you. We didn't imagine.
Then I give my take. Now he's taking me on.
Don't worry, it's not.
You understand?
Don't worry.
Because you know that I didn't start with you and I had a group. So now when you start to take me on, that wasn't fair. But in any case, I thought that was a very, very nice conversation.
Thank you so much. I'm sure we'll speak again soon.